Hey everybody, Ron the Future here. How are you guys doing today? So I'm here. I bought a brand new cork board online the other day. As you can see right here and from the thumbnail, because I'm starting a new collection. Okay, so like I said, I got this cork board online and it's 24 inches by 36 inches. So it's pretty big. It's about the size of a poster, maybe a little bit bigger. So I'm starting a new collection. Well, it's not really brand new. I started collecting something back, I'd say in the late 80s, early 90s. And they're called pins, enamel pins. Now, a lot of you are familiar with these, but for those who are not, they're these little pins right here. Now this here is a pin of a 49 Custom Mercury. Most of you know I'm into cars. So they have the back there. Sometimes these are called lapel pins. These would go on a jacket on the lapel. And then you put the backing on there so you don't get poked. So this is just to show you an example. I play guitar, so somebody bought me this guitar pin. You can see the back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start putting my little pins right on the cork board so I can display them. So how the story is, the backstory on this with these little pins, like I said, around maybe, let's say around maybe 87, 1988, early 90s, right around there, I started collecting these little enamel pins. So I started, I was working down in Hollywood, as most of you know, or a lot of you know, down in Hollywood for George Barris, who was a car customizer who actually built cars like this, custom cars. And so he gave me a few pins, and so did Jay Orberg, the other custom car guy I was working for at the time. And now Barris Custom Shop was in North Hollywood. So I don't know, like a mile or two down the street was Universal Studios. It was real close. So I was always going to Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard, and Melrose Avenue. Now back then, I was working for Jay Orberg and George Barris in 1988, and I would go down, especially to Melrose Avenue in Hollywood. They had all the cool rock and roll shops. Because that's when the hair bands were going, you know, Motley Crue and Poison and all that. So they had all the costumes and the boots and the leather jackets, leather pants, and the rock and roll jewelry and all that. And they had some really nice rock and roll pins. So, so I'm into rock and roll music, as you know, I play guitar, and I'm into the Rolling Stones, Motley Crue, a lot of rock and roll bands. So I started buying the rock and roll pins and little car pins. And then family members and friends I know, they started giving me these little pins for birthday presents, Christmas presents, things like that. So I started getting so many, I just put them in my drawer, you know, and didn't think about it too much. So then I thought, well, I want to display them somehow. And back then I didn't think of a cork board. And I know collecting enamel pins is a real big thing nowadays. If I see on YouTube, especially the Disney pins, that's huge. A lot of YouTubers are into the Disney pins, as I can see when I watch YouTube videos, of course. So, so what I did back then, I took one of my baseball caps, like I'm wearing now, and I didn't wear it anymore, and I started putting all my pins on the hat. I don't remember how many pins I had. Might have had, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 pins. So I started filling up all around the hat, then I just displayed my hat somewhere in my room, and that was it. So that's when I lived in Southern California. So now when I moved out here to Las Vegas about 27 years ago, when I moved, I put a lot of the little cool things like this, like the hat pins that were on my hat. I had some rock and roll magazines. Let's see what else. I had books, like rock and roll books, like Chuck Berry and Motley Crue and Rolling Stones, just different books. And I put all these in a couple of boxes. The movers came, took everything and put it in their warehouse or whatever. And then, a few days later, then they brought it up here to Las Vegas. So I'm not sure what happened to my collection of pins that I had on my hat. I think they're in my garage. I have a lot of boxes on shelves in my garage. I think the two boxes that are holding my cool things, like my hat pins and my books, are on a shelf. And next to the shelf, I have a classic car that isn't running. And it might be a while before I get it running, so I can't get to the shelf where the boxes are. So my collection of pins are either behind the car on those shelves in one of those two boxes with my other books and cool things, or the movers took them. So I don't remember. It's been so long since I looked in those boxes. I just don't remember. But that's the only place they could be, because I checked everywhere else, around the house, other spots in the garage, other boxes, and I can't find my pins and the pins that were on my hat. I might have some more loose pins around the house somewhere. I have a little bit more checking to do. Got some really nice ones, like I said, of rock and roll bands and really neat cars that Varus gave me that I really want to find again. So anyway, I was thinking about it, and I do have a handful of pins that I had in my room. This is one of them, the 50 mark. And but yeah, I want to display them, and I want to get back into collecting pins little by little. And like I said, I've seen on YouTube, it's a real big thing. A lot of people are into pins, and not just Disney, all kinds of pins, car pins, music pins. So I thought I want to display them. I don't want to lose them again or have them put in a box like I did before that might be in my garage. I want to display them where I can see them every day and enjoy them. So I thought I'd get a cork board. So that's why I got the cork board to display the pins. So anyway, that's the backstory on that. Let me know if you guys collect pins or have any pins. So I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to put a couple on here and show you as an example. And so yeah, so that's kind of like my new collection. Even though I started, excuse me, collecting many years ago, a few decades ago. Yeah, the movers might have took my pins. I'm not sure. So if that's the case, it's kind of like starting over again. And there's a couple of pins I've seen online that I want to get that are really cool. So anyway, that's it. I'll turn the camera around and put these pins on and show you guys. Okay, so I got my first couple of pins. So my cork board, as you can see, is all empty. Then I added a few pins here, 4 of them. So these are all the pins I have right now. I will be buying a few online, or like when I go places here in Las Vegas to the casinos, you know, you go in the gift stores and the gift shops, and so slowly I'll be adding some more and putting more on here. Obviously this is a work in progress, so just got a few pins up there in this big cork board, but I wanted the cork board big enough so it gives me room to grow, because obviously this is going to be ongoing and ongoing, which that's what I want. I'm doing this just for fun because I enjoy it. So I like the pins and I like collecting them. So this was the first one I put up here, the 49 Merc. Then I got this horse here. It reminds me of the horse on the Mustang cars. On the back, it don't say that. So I'm just gonna say it's a horse. So it's cool because this one looks gold and this one looks chrome. So then I got an acoustic guitar here. Right there. This is real pretty red. And then the last one, it's Kodak. So that has to be the Kodak Film Company. I don't even know if they're in business anymore because everything's digital. So I don't even know if they make film for cameras anymore. And I got this one many years ago. Somebody gave this to me, and I think it's the Olympics. I don't know, was it the '84 Olympics or what year it was? But it says Kodak, and then it has the little rings here, which I believe stands for the Olympics. And it has a star with weights on it. It's a bar with weights. And it says worldwide sponsor. So if any of you guys know anything about that pin or any of these pins, let me know. So yeah, so that's my little collection. And one day, like I said, I want to get out in the garage and check out those boxes, see if my other pins are in there. In the meantime, I'll just, buy some pins here and there online and when I go places. And so that's about it. And also, for those that want to know, I keep the pin backings in this little bag, little baggie, so this way they don't get lost. And then I'll just keep this in a drawer or something. So that's what I do. And then I will be showing you from time to time when I get other pins on here, just to keep you guys updated, just for fun. I'm still going to be collecting the Hot Wheels and comic books, so this is just a little side hobby. And I do have this 49 Merc here. I have two of them, so I put one on the cork board, and this one I have extra. So if anybody sees this and wants to trade me pins, I'm willing to trade this 49 Merc for a pin. It don't have to be a car. It could be a Disney pin or just about anything. I'm open to just about all pins, so let me know, okay? Okay, so that was it. So let me know if you like my little pin collection, and I will be getting it bigger and showing you guys every now and then. And let me know if you collect pins, okay? All right, so that's about it. Thanks for watching. You guys stay safe out there, and I will see you guys next time.